here with all of you. I'm here to talk about Crecimiento, the movement, and Aleph, the pop-up city that we just ran. My name is Juan Benet. I work on a lot of things in technology. I work in a lot of things in startups in general. And this is going to be a combination of economics, business building, history, and how to use startups to transform an economy. Argentina started, and one comment. Pay attention to the slides, not to me. I'm going to go very fast through a lot of content. The slides are online. You'll have a video. You can catch up in the future. Argentina started the 20th century on top of the world, but economic mismanagement ruined the country. Recently, slow growth and printing have eroded the value of the peso. Inflation is massive. If you've never lived in a country with bad inflation, you don't quite know how terrible it is to lose all of your savings in 2 or 3 years. Argentina hit somewhere between 100 to 250% inflation per year. It's insane. But now there's an opportunity to fix the economy and drive prosperity for the country. We're going to talk through these things. How to achieve economic prosperity through tech, Argentina's opportunity, Crecimiento, the movement, what we did with the pop-up city, and what's next. Technology is the strongest driver of human progress. Just look through the last few centuries. Technology companies today increasingly drive most of the value. All of you know this is only going to compound with things like AI, crypto, and much more that are going to underpin almost everything about our lives. Technology companies can be built anywhere in the world, but they tend to develop in a few jurisdictions. Though they might start everywhere, which is amazing thanks to the internet, over time they converge into those jurisdictions that have the top tier conditions. When you think of the entire funnel of basic building blocks and ideas that might turn into startups to eventually get funded, that grow into something successful, you can grade the qualities of various jurisdictions in terms of their likelihood of preserving or stimulating that kind of stage. Just for reference, in the US, in order to end up with 100 tech giants, you need tens of millions of proto-ideas that turn into startups. There's an extreme funnel with very low conversion rates. Now, startups can achieve product market fit in 1 to 4 years. So very quickly you can tell whether or not they're going to work. But their build out from that product market fit beginning to being able to capture that long-term value requires somewhere between 10 to 15, maybe 20 years. So jurisdictions need to offer amazing longevity if they want to be able to have a part of the economic future. Countries that don't have good conditions for startups will lose most of the future. And so it's critical in building jurisdictions, in building economies, to create an amazing environment for startups to develop in and grow throughout this lifetime. And it really requires longevity. You cannot do this in 2 to 4 years. You need 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Tech companies have to grow in the best conditions. They move from worse economies to better economies over time. These are evolutionary based systems. Where there's friction, either those companies will fail or they'll move to better jurisdictions. So economies, in order to compete, cannot just improve a lot, they have to be top tier environments. This is what has made places like Seoul, Singapore, and Dubai amazing financial centers. It's what's promoted a lot of economic activity in the last few decades. They leapfrog to be top tier economies, not just improving, top tier economies. But today we can use crypto, which is software eating law and finance, to build dramatically better economies around the world. We can use crypto primitives to build new financial infrastructure, new economic infrastructure, and build the future everywhere in the world, internet native and decentralized. So let's go back to Argentina. Argentina can become one of the top 15 or even top 10 economies in a very fast pace if it follows the footsteps of places like Singapore, places like Dubai, and similar. This kind of transition could bring Argentina back to its former glory. Now, the key frictions in Argentina's economy are many. There's all kinds of infrastructure problems. There's the inflation that we talked about. There's bad credit. People don't even have mortgages. There's so many frictions if you're trying to build a company. Argentina has amazing talent, but they have to build their companies outside. They cannot do it inside. But all of these frictions can be fixed with crypto fintech rails. Crypto has given us the tools to improve this infrastructure. So if you want to fix the economy, all you really need is one successful product or service per friction. And if you want, that would be 10 to 20 successful startups. in order to get to 10 to 20 successful startups, we need on the order of 100 to 300 startups. So we need to try and simulate the growth of somewhere between 100 to 500 startups in 2 to 3 years to achieve this kind of success. Crypto rails can unlock great startup environments, and so this is what Argentina could have. Argentina has amazing tech talent, lots of startups get built there, amazing founders, amazing engineers, product builders, and so on. There's lots of companies, but they tend to have to develop outside or move out. And if Argentina can invest in its tech environment, that could support all of the tech sectors of the economy. So, what's been happening now? Fed up with inflation over the last few decades, the Argentinians finally revolted in a sense and elected the first libertarian president. This is a world first. This is amazing. By the way, can I get a huge round of applause for this movement? Like, this is the defense of freedom and liberty and property rights and so on around the world that could bring transformative economic prosperity. So this is the golden opportunity. In this moment, in the next 2 to 3 years, there's massive bottoms-up crypto adoption and significant, strong top-down support that can enable the rebirth of the Argentine economy using crypto. So this sounds like a lot. So we're talking about building network states and starting bottoms up. Now we're talking about reshaping the economy of a massive country with 46 million people. We can do this with a movement. This is what started Crecimiento. This is a movement born to catalyze this opportunity, to leverage this amazing bottoms-up development with the top-down support to transition as fast as we possibly can. Let's build those startups. Let's build those 10 to 20 successful financial products. Let's get mortgages to the Argentinian people. Let's have that success. In order to get there, we need hundreds of startups. And so we want to, over the next couple of years, to bring 5 to 10 million additional people on chain. So basically doubling the adoption and make the tech startup ecosystem in Argentina as good as we possibly can through using crypto fintech rails with a crypto-based on-chain city with a special economic zone. I'll get into that in a moment. In the long term, we want to build that with strong economic stability and use that as a model to replicate that all across LATAM and all across the world. So what does that look like? It looks like this. Very short, aggressive time frame. Build as many products and startups as you can. You leverage accelerators, leverage infrastructure, bring capital to support the founders, teach the founders to go as fast as possible, leverage new tools like AI. We can do this, but it requires systemic, massive scale acceleration of what normally would take 5, 10 years. So given this frame, we wanted to ignite this movement as fast as possible, and the way to do that is with the Popup city. So we decided, this is very new, right? Like all of what I'm about to talk about happened in the last few months. In April, we went down, talked about this with a lot of people, decided to host a Popup in August, which I'll tell you about in a moment, and now we're working on establishing long-term growth, and we're gonna have another Popup in December. In this time frame, already, we've helped build 68 startups, helped build and accelerate 68 startups across the ranges of pre-seed to Series A, and many of these startups are building dramatically transformative economic primitives for Argentinians. The talent came from all over Argentina, a few other places in LATAM, and some folks from the US and Europe. It'd be great to see this map be even bigger and bring a lot of the talented builders from around the world into this movement. We're already catalyzing massive investment in the country with a trajectory to the tens of millions and potentially hundreds of millions in the next year or two. We can get there because the capital markets in crypto are massive. If we can just align the incentives correctly, we can get massive amount of capital from crypto to bring and help support the growth of the Argentinian economy. So let's talk about the Popup city. This was Aleph, the Ciudad de Crecimiento, a point in space that contains all other points in the universe. We brought and convened some of the brightest minds in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, and the world. We catalyzed this knowledge building, this idea generation and momentum by bringing over 2.5 thousand people with 300 experiences and hundreds of leading speakers and experts giving all kinds of talks. Aleph took place as a pop-up city with a lot of activity around it. We had a central hub, and we onboarded tens of merchants around, I think 40 or 50 merchants to use crypto daily and move from the peso into a stable that they could get paid in that day. That was transformative for so many of these people. At the heart of Crecimiento and Aleph was this Aleph hub, which is a super high quality environment where all of the startups could meet and talk about this kind of thing and work together. This was a huge, we did not know how valuable this was going to be. So if you're building something similar, consider doing this thing. The co-working environment can create the right momentum for our community. We had all kinds of tracks: crypto, startups, wellness, culture, and the broader improve the movement track. Lots of speakers from around the world, tons of citizens in the pop-up city, lots of startups and sponsors and other parties that helped us build this entire thing. Again, hundreds of events and experiences. We built this city tech that had, decentralized identity. We had a passport. We had an ERC20 token to use as a stablecoin to pay for food and so on. This was like super transformative. We had massive visits and wow moments with a lot of the Argentinian leaders. Folks like Jorge Macri, the mayor, Mauricio Macri, the former president of Argentina, Damian Raidel, and many other folks who were blown away by the activity and super supportive. We also have an enormous amount of attention from the media all over Argentina and now the crypto world and increasingly the rest of the world. We brought a lot of participants and regulators in the Argentine economy to discuss all of this together, to figure out and chart a path to success. And what's really amazing is all of these folks understood the problem really well and are super inspired to help and chart a good path for the future. Contrary to other places, the regulators in Argentina get it. And this is like an amazing quote to have on stage. We're 100% in favor of normalizing the technology of the crypto world. This is massive, and this is an enormous opportunity in this moment. So through that entire city, we supported a lot of the startups in developing their businesses, developing their ideas, and we had a demo day at the end. There's a bunch of pitches that will be posted online sometime soon. If you're an investor, go look at those and see you can help support the movement by investing in those companies. If you are an aspiring founder and want to solve real problems with crypto and tech, come to Argentina to do that. We had a hackathon, we had a ZK City bootcamp, we had the wonderful asados that brought people together, culture and wellness. We have this Morphe launch, thousands of transactions. Just an amazing energy in the city. A lot of the participants have started building the city infrastructure and building all kinds of products to help support this kind of stuff. This is tech that you can use in your own network states and your own movements, so pay attention to what we're building. We're catalyzing significant impact and creating a tremendous foundation for the future of Crecimiento. Today, Crecimiento starts very tall, massive level of impact, but what's next? Doing this is going to require consistent and persistent effort. We have to continue the momentum that we started with Aleph. We have to grow the number of products, grow the number of startups, and go as fast as we can. We're doing this with this strong builder funnel, trying to stimulate the growth of as many companies and founders as we can. This is going to require tens to hundreds of programs, so we have grant structures to support participants in building out what they want. We have a city stack, ecosystem programs, partners and contributors. All of this is we want to do on chain. We have grant structures and funding. We have founder schools, fellowships and accelerators. All of this is getting built out now. And this is what the next few months look like. The big thing that I want to call out is the December moment. Come down to Argentina and check it out. But to really get to the long-term success, we're going to need a lot of help. It's not going to be, our work so far is not going to be sufficient. We need your help and the help of many people around the world. To really get to this level of transformative change, we need to establish so much financial prosperity over the next 2 years that Argentina can lock in this amazing, better environment and become the first crypto nation. If we can do this in 2 years, we can flip a major, massive economy to leverage crypto rails to build its future. So from my perspective, these are the options for Argentina. No change, this is fine, terrible outcome. They can try and fix a lot of laws. This is what the government wants to do right now and putting an enormous effort to do it. You could fix some laws to enable global operation, or you can build an economic zone with longevity, basically what Dubai did. I think that this is the unlock. If we can build this kind of economic zone in a digital environment, forget about land, do it in a digital environment on chain, this would be transformative. So that's what we're up to. I think if we can do this level of success over the next few months, later next year or the year after that, we can have serious conversations about building a proper economic zone with crypto financial rails at the bottom, which would be incredible, right? Like we're talking about finally having a proper jurisdiction directly on chain. A lot of us have been building towards this future for 10 years or more. So we're prototyping what that means right now. What does it mean to have a city on chain? What does it mean to put all of the businesses in that environment, citizens, passports, all of that kind of thing? We're doing this with a regulatory sandbox. If you're interested in experimenting with this sort of stuff, come to Argentina and do it with us. And one huge call out here, we're trying to bring all of crypto to Argentina in 2025 to just catalyze this movement, bring as many builders as we possibly can and attention to really leverage this amazing opportunity that we have over the next two years. And just a huge call out for you to join us in the next big moment. So here's the big call out. Join the Telegram group, follow us in Crecimiento, Argentina, and join us in December. What does Milei say? Viva la libertad, carajo!